Welcome to today's episode of In the Gym with Michael Petrella. We're going to be looking at the evolution of standard gym equipment. We're going to be looking at trap bars, T-grip, neutral grip barbells, and also maximum advantage grip bars for cable attachments. Standard gym equipment has been around for decades. Now, used progressively and used safely, it will yield great results. However, there have been those who have looked to better this equipment, and in many cases they have done so. Some of these things I'm about to show you may already be in your gym, some you may have never seen before. But in all cases, I will show the benefits of using them. Also, I'm hoping that a lot of this equipment is already at the facility that you train at. And assuming it is, maybe you've never tried it before. Maybe it's just sat on the wall and you've never thought to pick it up. We're hoping to educate you on the proper ways of using it and showing the benefits of it over their standard gym equipment counterparts. The first thing we're going to show is, it's called a trap bar. Now this was made in 1985 by Al Gerard. He patented the design, and he was a powerlifter looking to increase his deadlift. He was finding that when he deadlifted with a straight bar, there was too much strain on his lower back. By using a trap bar, he was able to stand inside of it, thus changing the angle of pull, changing it in his favor. He found that he could use more legs while driving through the motion. Now, this bar has been used for a couple of decades now with all kinds of Division I NFL football teams and a lot of top strength coaches. Again, the main benefit over it is you don't hit your knees when you're doing a lot of these back exercises. We're going to demonstrate the shrug, the row, and the deadlift. Starting with the deadlift, Nate, I'm going to get you to stand in the bar. First thing you'll notice is the bar is several inches in front of his shins. There is no danger of him hitting his legs. I'm going to get you to stand up with that, Nate. That's perfect. The form is going to be exactly the same as a normal deadlift would be. You're going to come on down, Nate. You're going to bend at the knees. You're going to keep the back as flat as you possibly can, chest up. Stand up from there, Nate. It's perfect. And again, because the weight is completely in line with his center mass, he's getting a lot more leg drive and a lot less strain on the lower back. I'm going to get you to do 2 reps here, Nate. Come on down, dead pause. Come on up, perfect. Come on down for a dead pause. Come on up, perfect, good. You can put that bar down. With some of the competition bars, they have a very aggressive knurling, and it's not uncommon for people to actually bleed from their shins when doing the deadlift. With this trap bar, there's absolutely no risk of doing that. Now, the reason that they called it a trap bar is because they were looking to develop the trapezius muscles, which are the muscles in the middle of your upper back. One of the most effective exercises we can do for this is the very simple shrug movement, just elevating your shoulder girdle. Again, when you do this with a bar, whether you do it in front of you or some people even do it behind themselves, there is the friction of bringing the bar up and down your body. With a trap bar, we no longer have this problem. Nate, I'm going to get you to pick the bar back up. Straight posture, chest up, and all he's going to do is shrug his shoulders, get as high as he can. 1 second pause, ease down. Perfect. Come on up. 1 second pause, ease down. I want you to hold the bomb for 2 seconds here, Nate. I've also found that a lot of people with this exercise, they put all kinds of weight on it, and they only shrug their shoulders literally by millimeters. I want you to use a weight that, just like Nate, you're going to come right up to your ears, or as close as you can, right up. That's perfect. Come on down. We get you to 2 more repetitions. Bringing it up, that's great. Ease down. 1 more, Nate. Up, up, and ease down. That's great. I'm going to get you to put that bar down. Again, when we're talking about the angle of pull, it is directly in line with his body. He's going to get more stimulation in his upper back. The other thing that's really nice in the first 2 exercises I've shown you is his grip. He's using a neutral grip. A lot of people, when they do a shrug, they use a pronated grip, or their hands are basically, their palms are facing down to the ground, or if they're standing upright, facing towards them. This is a much weaker grip than the neutral grip that he's used in the first 2 exercises. Finally, what I'm going to show you is a row. And again, we're going to be looking at the same advantages. As opposed to the bar being out in front of him and putting a lot of strain on his lower back, he can bring it back to his center of gravity. When he makes the row, he can concentrate on his upper back. Specifically, his lats is what he's trying to challenge with this exercise. So I'm going to get you to grab the bar. Again, he's going to straight back, almost like he's about to pick up a deadlift, but now he's going to bring his elbows back. He's going to row this. You're going to come on up. Perfect. Ease down. Come up just a little higher. Perfect. We're going to do 2 more, Nate. That's great. Come on up. Hold. Ease down. And 1 more repetition. Hold. Perfect. You can bring that down. Again, what I see a lot of people do when they do a bent over row is they start fairly bent over and they start coming up and up and up, and by the end of the motion, they're basically doing a shrug style motion. Don't let your ego get in the way of your results. When you're bent over, when your back is parallel to the ground or close to parallel, some people like to come up just a little bit because they find it a touch more comfortable. This is the position where you're going to work your lats. There's no sense loading all kinds of weight on the bar. It's the tension on the muscle that's going to make the difference, not the amount of weight on the bar. But again, for all 3 of these exercises, you can do this with a standard barbell, and they're effective exercises, and they can be done safe and productively. But with a trap bar, we don't have to worry about the bar hitting him. We don't have to worry about hitting his shins. His hands and wrists are going to be in a stronger position. He's going to get better workouts, and hopefully he's going to get better results. The simplest device that I'm going to show you, this is called an arm blaster. Now this became very popular with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was photographed several times using this, and a lot of the old-time bodybuilders were using this when they're arm training. This is mostly used for biceps and sometimes for triceps, like we're going to demonstrate. The main purpose of this is to keep your form as strict as possible. Again, a lot of times when people are doing bicep curls, they like to lift the weight with their hips. They like to leverage it with their backs. By using this device, we can be very, very strict with the motion, and we can put the focus on the bicep. So I'm going to get Landon to put this on. It just goes over top of his head, and it's going to sit across the front of his torso. Now, the elbows are going to sit into the pads. So this is perfect. You want it just above the elbow. Again, people will even try to cheat with this device. They will bring it further and further up the arm to try to give them leverage over the device. This is to keep your arms in place so all the movement is around the elbow. Landon, I'm going to get you to pick that bar up. Now before you start, it's just going to be a standard easy curl. People have done this for years and years. But what I want Landon to do, and it's going to be hard to see, he's actually going to be pushing his arms back into these pads as he curls up. That's going to keep it nice and strict. Again, chest is going to stay up. I'm going to get you to do a few controlled repetitions. Landon. Nice and strong. Good. Ease down. That's perfect. Right up. Easing down. Now stay at the bottom there for 2 seconds. Landon is doing a full extension when he's doing this exercise. Now, assuming that your elbows are strong and healthy, this is how I want performed. But some people, they do tend to have some sort of inflammation in the elbow, or they might have a previous injury. A lot of times it comes from sports. If that's the case, come all the way up to the top here, Landon. When you come down about 3/4 of the way. Right there is where I want you to come down to. A lot of people, this will alleviate any sort of issue with the elbow. Come back up. We're going to do 2 or 3 more repetitions. Again, he's staying nice and strict. Also at the very top with this arm blaster, a lot of people feel they can squeeze the biceps harder than when they don't have this device attached. We're going to do a couple more here, Landon. Coming up, hold, perfect. Ease down, and 1 more repetition. Hold, perfect. You can put that weight down. Now the nice thing about this device is if your gym does not have one, they are very, very cheap to buy. You can get them from several different online sites. It's not going to break the bank. Now, the next exercise we're going to show, this is a little bit lesser known with an arm blaster, but it was an old-time movement. We're going to get people to do the tricep press down with their arms attached to the device. So I'm going to get you to come forward here, Landon. Pick your preferred grip. And again, he's going to bring his elbows down to the device. Just get your other right in, and you're just coming straight down. And again, what a lot of people like to do, straight down, not away from you, straight down. They like to lean forward. They like to leverage everything. He's staying straight up and down. His elbows are not leaving the device. Very, very strict motion for the tricep. 1 more here, Landon. Perfect. I'm going to get you to come out. Perfect. Come on up. So with a very simple device, we can bring 2 tried and true exercises into something new, a different experience. It's going to keep you motivated in the gym, and it's going to keep your results going. Next, for traditional gym equipment, I want to talk about the bars that are used on cable machines. We're going to focus on the pull-down bars, but this could also be used for tricep pushdowns, rows, and even bicep curls. Now, the same bars have basically been used for decades. Really, no thought has come into ergonomics or how the hand would fit on this bar. They were just made because they worked. It will work today and it will continue to work, but better designs have came about. Even when I look about doing a wide pull down, I have a kind of awkward pronated grip. And what will happen with most people, as they start to pull down and the forearms fatigue, the grip starts to change. This starts putting pressure into the elbows. It's very common for when people to do heavy pull downs to eventually get inflammation in the elbows. This is really not an issue with their form being bad, but really the actual bars or the technology available to them being less than ideal. Now, since this has been invented, people have tried to come up with better versions. Everything is always trying to be improved upon. Now, one of the things that have been showing up in gyms, and you may already be in your gym right now, is called maximum advantage grip bars. So we're going to show this one first, and you'll notice it disperses over your hand much greater. When I wrap my fingers around it and have my thumbs sit down onto the bar, I have a much greater surface area. Also, this grip tends to keep my wrist in a very neutral position. When my wrists fatigue or my forearms fatigue on this bar, there's no change in the motion. They stay locked in. This is very much going to help with this inflammation that I was talking about in the elbow. Also, when we're dealing with training the back, which we're going to show on the pull down here, most people feel their forearms or their biceps give out first. And although we're not eliminating the forearms or the biceps in this pull down, most people, when they use the bar with proper ergonomics, they can bypass these muscles. They don't come into play as much, and they can truly work the musculature of their upper back, which is the goal of a pull down. So I'm going to get Landon to demonstrate a couple. Now, the first grip he's going to use, this is a pronated grip. Now, normally I wouldn't get someone to do a pronated grip because their arms are in a fairly weak position. However, with this grip, you can see everything is locked in. His wrists are very strong. We need to do a couple repetitions, Landon. Perfect. And you can see very strong contractions in the back. Perfect. Come on down, hold, easing up. We're going to do two more. Hold, and one more repetition, Landon. Perfect. You can see right from start to finish, you can let that come up. He has an easier time keeping his posture, and his hands are not becoming as fatigued as he would with a traditional bar. Now, this is just one grip. Again, your gym may have several different variations, and we have a couple that we're going to show you. The second is going to be the supinated grip. Now, this is the grip that I go to when I train most people because you're going to be underhand. Your biceps are going to be in their strongest position for pulling. You may feel them a little bit more with this grip as opposed to pronation, but you are in a stronger position. You can use more resistance and hopefully develop a little bit more muscle. I'll get you to grab onto that, Landon. Now, the motion is going to be almost exactly the same as what you've seen before. Come on down again, Landon. Hold. Good. Again, he's keeping his posture up. He's keeping his chest up. He's pulling the weight with his back, but you can see his wrists are staying nice in line all the way down. I'm going to get you to do two more here, Landon. Perfect. One more repetition. Fantastic. Come on up. Going to unlock that. So when you're doing this exercise, especially if I was training him to fatigue, where his body will try to break down, the form will try to break down, you will notice that his wrists stay in that same position. His grip is very comfortable. Instead of it being spread out very shallow, just on a little bit of surface area with the typical bar, it's spread out across his entire hand. He's not going to get the fatigue in his hands. He's going to get the fatigue in his lats. So lastly, we're going to show this is the direct replacement for the wide grip bar that I showed originally. Again, even though his hands are going to be out wide, maybe not in the strongest position, it's going to have the same style of grip. It's going to spread it over the surface area of his hands. It's going to be far more comfortable. Landon, I'm going to get you to do a couple with this. Nice wide grip. And we're going to do this to the front first. Good. Bring those elbows right down. Hold. Good. I'm just going to get you to do 2 more here. Good. 1 more, Landon. Nice and strong. Perfect. Come on up. Now, the one thing I do want to mention about wide grip pull downs is a lot of people use them to try to increase the width of their back. But the truth of the matter is, when you come out wide with your grip, it puts the focus more on the middle of the back. If you're looking to increase the width of your lats, the first 2 grips I had Landon do are actually a better choice. Now, I'm going to show one more example with these bars and how I feel they're superior to your typical bar that you may find in the gym. I'm just going to lower the weight for you, Landon. Now, this is an exercise I only like to do with lighter weight. I would typically do it with someone at the end of a back routine and generally in the 15 to 20 repetition range. This is going to be the pulls behind the neck. Now, this exercise kind of gets a bad rap. A lot of people feel it's bad on the shoulders. It is true that if you go very heavy with this resistance, there's possibility to hurt the shoulders. That's why I like staying with the lighter weight. Really pumps up the back. And when you're doing this, the only grip I want you to do with is a neutral grip. Even back 50, 60 years ago, when you watch some of the old-time bodybuilders do behind the neck pull downs, they always used a neutral grip. So if we were using a standard wide grip bar, you wouldn't have that option because your hands have to be pronated by design. So I'm going to get you to grab right onto the edge again here, Landon. And you're going to lean forward a bit. We're going to come behind your head, and he's going to come straight down. Perfect. He's drawing right to the middle of his back. Good. The lats are going to stretch. They're still going to work, but he's drawing right to the middle because that's the target musculature. Good. We're just going to get you 2 more, Landon. Perfect. And 1 more. Excellent. Easing up. Good. Just going to get this out of your way, Landon. So again, some of these equipments, they may already be in your gym. They may be sitting on the wall somewhere and you've never thought to use them or you didn't know how to use them. Hopefully, if you do have them in your gym, you can watch this. You can add them into your workout. They're going to help you with your results. And in most cases, they're going to make the workout safer because they were designed to be more biomechanically friendly. They really thought about the ergonomics. They're not just straight bars, and they're helping people work out harder all over the world. The last piece of equipment that I want to talk about, this is sometimes called a Swiss bar, a football bar. This happens to be made by a company called T-Grip. And basically it is a barbell that utilizes neutral grips. Now again, this has been widely used for different football teams and in different strength circles for years. There's a couple advantages to using this bar over the standard barbell. So we're going to demonstrate a couple of exercises and we're going to talk about why it's advantageous to use one of these as opposed to a standard barbell. So Landon, I'm just going to get you to take this, and we're going to start with the easy bar. So again, when people do a standard barbell curl with just a straight bar, the first thing that they notice is it puts strain on their wrist and on their elbows. With just a slight change in articulation, it takes a lot of the stress off. Now, people normally use an easy bar for this, and that's fine. That will work great too. But we're going to show the versatility of having a full bar with these different grip options. So I'm going to get you to do a couple of curls here, Landon. Straight up. Good. Ease down. Again, no swing in his body. Biceps doing all the work. It's perfect. Good. I want you to really control that lowering. Control. A lot of people like to move their hips too much when they're doing this exercise. Hold. We'll do 1 more. Come on up. That's perfect. Now, although they're nice enough to put knurling where you can do an easy grip, it really is designed for you to use a neutral grip. That's where this bar really shows its merit. So I'm going to get you to switch to a neutral grip. You're going to use the inside handles. So now Landon's going to do what's called a hammer cable curl, or sorry, a hammer barbell curl. So just come straight up. Now, without a bar like this, come on down, perfect. Without a bar like this, you would only be able to do this with dumbbells. I'm going to get you to a few repetitions here, Landon. Again, the form is exactly the same as his previous grip. But instead of being limiting to dumbbells, you can use a full bar. Excellent. We're going to do 2 more here, Landon. Come on up. Perfect. Ease down. 1 more repetition. Good. Come on down. Now, I'm not going to get Landon to do it, but also what they've added is a second set of neutral grips. So if you want to come out a little bit wider one workout, you want to come a little bit narrower for the next workout, or you decide to do both, you have those options. It's built right into the bar. The next advantage to using this bar is for overhead pressing. I'm going to get you to bring this up to your shoulders here, Landon. Now, what you're going to notice is he can actually get this bar a little bit closer to him. If this was a straight bar with the pronated grip, a lot of people turn this into a bent over bench press. And what I mean by that is they lean back too far and they're putting strain on their lower back. With this neutral grip and this slight bend in the bar, most people find that they can push straight up a little bit easier. He just has to clear his chin just a little bit, and you do a very strict overhead press. Landon, I'm going to get you to do a few reps, straight up in the air. Now, I don't want you to push in front of you, Landon. I want you to push up and over your head. Perfect. Ease down. Again, because there's that cutout in the angles of the bar, it really allows him to push on a great angle. We'll do one more. Straight up over your head, not in front of you, Landon. Good. Come on down. Just bring it down to your waist for a second. What I really want people to focus on when they're doing an overhead press, whether they have one of these great T-grip barbells or whether they're just using a standard barbell, is you keep the line of push in line with the body. This used to be an Olympic event, the push. But what happened was they took it out because more and more athletes were leaning further and further back trying to leverage more weight. And then a good exercise can become very damaging to the lower back. The next exercise I want to show, and again, this is something that, although possible with a standard bar, most people find it discomforting. And this is an overhead tricep extension. You're going to find that with a neutral grip, you feel far safer and far more secure. Again, just like when we did the hammer curls, this is something you would only normally be able to do with a dumbbell. Now you're going to be able to do it with a straight bar. So I'm going to get you to come over your head, Landon. Arms are straight up, and he's going to bend right behind his head and push up. And we get a nice stretch right in the triceps. He's working the back of the arms. Again, he can keep his posture. Good. Right down, Landon. Perfect. I'm going to get you two more. Ease down. Right up. Perfect. One more repetition. Good. Come right back down to your waist. Excellent. Another variation for this exercise that works exceptionally well is doing it in a seat. I like to be on a slight decline. You can do it straight up and down. It's whatever your preference is. The exact same application. You're keeping your arms perpendicular with the ground. You want to get that nice stretch in the back of the arm. Most people find this more comfortable with the neutral grip, which is what this bar provides. The last exercise we're going to show is going to be a standard bench press. Again, most people do this in the gym. It's a great exercise for developing the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps. But some people, they find that it hurts their shoulders. Now, some of this can be chalked up to improper benching technique, but a lot of the time, it can just be corrected by using this different bar. So I'm going to get forward just for a second there, Lam. I'm going to bring the bench in. So I'm going to get you just lean back. It's not a heavy weight. Normally, you would do this in a power rack with someone you were training. Just going to push straight up. Now again, you're going to find these wrists are nice in line, perfect form. His chest is up. And actually, Landon, I'm going to get you to just come forward just a little bit. I don't want you hitting this machine beside you. Just slide down just a little bit so your head's on the bench. That's going to be perfect. You're going to push straight up. Now, same rules apply as a typical bench press. You're coming down to the chest, straight up. Good. Coming down to the chest, straight up. Now, when you come down this time, Landon, I want to show one very crucial thing that you're doing correctly. Come down, I just want you to hold it on the chest. You'll notice his arms are naturally about 45 degrees from his body. A lot of people, when they use a straight bar, they flare their elbows out. This is one of the biggest mistakes people do. Without him even thinking about this bar, he's fairly new to it. He's automatically tracking his elbows and his wrist in the right direction. I'm going to get you to do 2 or 3 more here, Landon. Good. Come down nice and easy. Push up strong. Good. Nice and easy. Thank you for watching today's episode of In the Gym with Michael Petrella. I'm hoping that the exercise equipment we showed you helps you explore different things in your gym. Hopefully some of these pieces are already in your gym. If you want to get in touch with the manufacturers, please feel free to contact them. For the Maximum Advantage Grip Bars, go to www.maxagrip.com. And for the Neutral Grip Barbells, go to www.tgrip.com.